Well, good evening. Hi, my name is Napoleon Bell, and I'm the guest host, or I'm the host, I guess, of the What's My Story? And this is a program that we are looking for people that have an interesting story or just a story of their life. And so I'm excited about this episode because we're going to get to speak with and hear the story of Dr. CeCe Harris. And so it's my pleasure to really bring her on to start this conversation on one of our series of What's My Story? So let me see if I can bring her on right now. Hello, Dr. CeCe Harris. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you today?
I'm doing great, doing great. So glad to
Good.
have you on the program. And I know you have an amazing story, and you're an amazing person, right?
Thank
Uh,
you.
so real excited. I'm sure our viewing audience will be like, yeah, tell me more, tell me more. Um, so let's get started. Dr. Harris, where were you? Where did you start out? Where were you born?
I was actually born here in Ohio
Okay, okay.
to my mother and father, Linda and Johnny Ellis.
Very
Um, I was the only girl my mother had. My mom had me and three boys, and then my father, in a previous marriage, had two boys and three girls. So I had a really big family,
Oh,
lots of
wow.
brothers and sisters. I grew up
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
home with my
Well,
three brothers.
that sounds great. So I guess you can say you weren't the spoiled one, you because you had a lot of siblings, and so that's great growing up in a big family. And
Mhm.
so did you go to school here then? Did you stay in Ohio?
I was back and forth here to Mississippi.
Okay,
I did graduate high school here at Fort Hayes High School,
Fort Hayes.
Fort Hayes, and I graduated from the Ohio State University undergrad and grad school. I graduated from Northwestern.
Oh, wow. So that's where the doctor comes from, right?
That is correct.
All right. All right, good. Well, I mean that's a great path. So let me go back though to, let's say, high school.
Mhm.
What was your high school like? What did you do? Did you play sports? What was your thing there in high school?
Man, so I was a huge tomboy, Napoleon. I mean, I played the
Mm.
drums, I played basketball, ran track. I did everything. I was actually homecoming queen and prom queen
Oh goodness.
in my
Okay.
senior class. Yes, and the senior class vice president. A
My
pretty
goodness.
smart cookie.
So you were leading the pack. Then I bet you everybody was jealous then because like, man, she's prom queen. She's smart. Everything's going for her. So that's great. That's great. And wait,
Yeah,
did you say you were in the marching band? Is that what you said?
I was. Yes,
Okay.
I played the drums. I was the only female drummer in my marching band.
Oh my goodness. Now was that the big drum, the bass drum, or was that the
That was the set. That was a three-time drum that I carried on my shoulders in every parade, every game. I was pretty dope on the drums, Napoleon.
Right, right. Okay. Very good. So are you saying then that we should see you then out sometime, you know, playing the drums? Because next time I see you, I'm gonna say, okay, let's show me what you got.
I've played at church. I've played in several little mini bands around the city. Yeah. So my nickname is Sticks.
Oh wow.
STIX.
Sticks. Dr. CeCe Harris, aka Sticks.
Sexy.
That's that's great. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Did not know that. So okay,
Mm-hmm.
so after high school, and then you went into college and what have you. Um, I understand that a little bit that you weren't as healthy, or you had some you found out something about some health issues, what have
Mm-hmm. So I'll back up just a little bit.
you. Okay, okay,
Growing up, I experienced challenges that most kids should not experience and ended up
okay,
being in a foster home under
okay.
foster care. Amazing foster family, still keep in contact with them. As a matter of fact, my biological mom and my foster mom are really good friends. I call them twins, but one's black, one's white. It's pretty funny.
Oh wow, wow,
But
very
we call
good.
them twin sisters. So I grew up doing that. Ended up leaving at the age of 17. Grew up really fast. Had my own
Yeah.
apartment. As in my senior year in high school, had my first apartment. Learned what it was like to really pay bills and really, be an adult.
Mm.
So, um, did that. Graduated high school. Went to college, like you said.
Yeah.
During my adult life is when I realized I had heart disease. I didn't know it. I was working.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
an avid swimmer, avid runner, run lots of marathons, play sports, ride motorcycles. Just never knew I had heart disease. Um,
Hmm.
so unfortunately, it affected me at a very young age. I ended up having 10 heart surgeries in a 2-year time frame.
Wow.
And I currently have a pacemaker implant that's keeping me alive. So thank God for modern technology that's keeping
Yes.
me, yeah, it's still here on earth. So huge life change, tremendous life change. Doing things a little different. Something as simple as not being able to run the lawnmower or go through the metal detectors at an airport, but those are small things that I don't take for granted anymore.
Yes.
I truly felt like I took life for granted for a very long time. And just being a survivor of heart disease is just a miracle in itself.
Yeah. It is.
So,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
so I was just saying that during that time, the heart surgeries, I figured out, that I have to do something about this. I needed to get the word out about how important it is to live a heart healthy lifestyle and really know the facts about heart disease. And so I couldn't
Mhm.
figure out how I was going to get this word out, not just locally in my own city, but worldwide. And so one night, as I was laying in the hospital in ICU, I was watching the Miss America pageant, and I noticed that they had platforms while they were talking about their reign. And, they talked about childhood obesity and cancer. I'm like, that's it. When I get better, I go through cardiac rehab, I'll just enter a pageant and use heart disease awareness as my platform. And so
Mm.
that's what I did. I went through 4 months of cardiac rehab. I got stronger. I learned how to walk again, talk again. I got better, got my strength back, and decided to compete in a pageant. And so
Oh
I
my
competed in the
goodness.
Miss Plus America pageant and won my first national title. And I was super duper
Wow.
proud of that. So that was my platform. And I actually started a 501c3 called Matters of the Heart. And that's where I advocate for heart disease awareness. So it's allowed me to travel all over the world, talking about the importance of heart disease and how it's affecting so many people, especially how prevalent it is in women, and how it's the number one killer right now. Every
Mm.
34 seconds, someone dies of a heart attack. And so I didn't know about heart disease until it affected me. And so now I can write a book about heart disease and the importance of living a heart healthy lifestyle.
So you're saying you're writing a book, or you
Yeah,
wrote
I'm
it?
actually almost finished with my book. It's
Oh
called
my
How My
goodness.
Struggle Became My Success.
Oh my goodness.
hmm So,
That's
and it's
that.
true. It's just, if it wasn't for the struggle, I wouldn't be this successful.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know,
It sounds like it gave you true focus and true meaning.
absolutely,
Right.
it did. It did.
Wow. That is a truly amazing story. So, I don't think you stopped there, right? You did the pageants, and you continue that and just really spreading the word. But you said, okay, I've run that race in the pageant. Well, I want to run that race along the ground. What
Mhm.
what what all happened? What all happened there?
So I've ran so far 14 half marathons.
Oh
As
my
a
God.
survivor, heart disease survivor, I said, my motto is I have congestive heart failure, but congestive heart failure does not have me. And I
Mm.
refused for it to allow me to stop living my life. So when I say I live my life every day like it's golden, I absolutely do. I do tough mudders, run marathons, I still ride motorcycles. Like, I still continue to live my life. And prior to my surgeries, I didn't. I absolutely was one of those people that took life for granted. I really didn't
Mhm.
take the time to enjoy the view. But now I just do everything and anything I want to do. It doesn't stop me from being who I am and continue to do what I love to do.
Oh my gosh. You know, you first of all, just a matter of running these races and these half marathons and marathons and all of this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
That must have took a toll. I mean, when I'm thinking of you and you telling me about your heart and this, that, and the other, and you have a pacemaker, but you're like, listen, I'm going to be in shape. I still got to do these things, right? So
Mhm.
how, what, I almost said, what was that drive in me? Because I would almost be nervous about running and get my heart, going because I'm thinking I'm going to wear it out or something.
Yeah, so I consider myself a miracle. I was literally given a second chance at life. Matter of fact, a third chance because I've flatlined twice during my eighth and ninth surgery.
Oh
And
my
so,
goodness.
yes, I was revived and brought back to life, and just even laying in ICU thinking, God, if you just get me out of this situation, I promise to go do something amazing. Like I just couldn't take advantage more of just given that second chance at life. Like, why wouldn't I? I used to take life for granted, honestly. I just went and went and went and did it until I just couldn't stop. And now I have new meaning, true meaning of
Mm,
a second chance at life. And I knew I was not going to let that stop me. So just that in itself is motivation. Sometimes, I'll think back and look at pictures, some of the ones you put up, and just say, wow, God, thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful and so gracious for just his grace and his mercy he shed upon me to be able to continue to live out my legacy, my life, continue to
right.
bless others, because that's what I have the passion to do. I help with a homeless ministry around the city, and I know what it's like being homeless. I know what it's like to have food disparity. So
Yeah.
that's a huge passion of mine. So I continue to do that too. Just blessing others is what I live to do. So it just wasn't my time to go. And I have so much more here to do on earth. So I'll just continue to do that every single day.
Yeah, that's a definitely, and you are doing it to the max, right? So, yeah, and you talked about your, I think your biological father. I think is this your biological father?
That is my daddy. He is my
Okay,
hero. Absolutely. I lost my father back in 2013, right after my reign of my title. He
okay,
died of prostate cancer, sadly.
okay.
But he was definitely my hero, a true hero.
Yeah.
He fought in the Korean War in the army and
Oh
earned some
wow.
medals. And so he is truly my rock.
Yeah,
Yes.
I am sure he's looking down on you now, just smiling from ear to ear, just so proud. And you also talked about your moms, right? You
Yes,
know,
my double duo. Those two girls together, I tell you, they are trouble. You see the look on their face right there. I can't take them nowhere. I tell you, they are two peas in a pot for sure. So I love them both. They're my moms. It's so funny in public when I say, "Here's mom and here's mommy." One's mom, one's mommy, and they're like, okay."
Right,
But
right.
I'll never
Which
take that
which
away
one's
from
which?
either of
Which
them.
one's mom? Which one's mommy? We don't know. We don't know.
Mommy is my biological mom is
Okay,
mommy, and my foster mom is mom. But I
okay.
don't ever just say foster mom. I just say this is my mom because she
Oh yeah.
definitely did a great job of raising me, and so did my biological mother.
Yes.
So they just did a great job. So I love them both. They'll always be mom and mommy.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yep, I hear it in your voice, right? And I'm really holding on to them. That's great because I think when you think about parents and you think about those who raised you, the things that you have
Mhm.
accomplished now to this point and just overcoming throughout these years.
Mhm.
Because I'm sure it wasn't just one day in the hospital and this, that, and the other, or
Mm.
one time. It was a long journey, but yet you still continue to overcome. And
Absolutely.
so that's amazing in itself. And then when we talk about the where you are now and where we're saying Dr. Harris, right? you know
Yes. I
uh
worked hard for that 12 years. I went part time getting my doctorate, and that was a struggle in itself. But I did it. It's a marriage and family therapy, which is, another passion of mine.
Mm,
So I'm very proud of myself. I felt like I didn't allow the struggle of my life to be my future. I knew I had to do
right.
something different. I knew it. And my brothers struggled, growing up with our life and how we lived it. And I was the first person to graduate high school and go to college. I had to set that tone for the rest of my family, and hopefully my nieces and nephews will follow in that direction as well. But I just had to do something. It's just, some people become a product of their environment, and I refuse to do that. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Well, you have definitely set the stage, for so many, and that inspiration, because often people think, especially just the part of going to continuing school and doing it part
Hmm.
time, people have given up, or says, I can't study, or I've got this to do, but not realizing there are folk out there like yourself that have gone through all these struggles and continue to, but they persevered because they stayed focused on what they wanted to be able to do with their life. And
Hmm.
so definitely appreciate all that you have done, and inspired others, I'm sure, along the way, and hopefully by those who see this will also be inspired. So if there was a last words that you would say to someone, or that maybe be down their luck, or is going through some type of struggle, whatever that might be, what would you say?
Man, I would always let somebody know to not allow their past to dictate their future. It's never a situation to where you can never get out of it. It may be a struggle, it may be a journey, but there's definitely a way out. And, asking for help is okay. Some people are prideful and don't know how to ask for help. Sadly, I did a lot of things independently, but eventually I asked for help and got that help. So just know that there's always a way out. There's always resources out there that are available to anyone in any type of situation. And I highly encourage them to take advantage of that.
Very good, very well said. Well, Dr. CeCe Harris, we appreciate this time, and an amazing story. And keep on keeping on with the things that you're doing, and motivating others, inspiring others, in the community. So I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm so honored and privileged. I appreciate your time.
All right. Take care now.
Thank you.
Wow, what a story. Dr. CeCe Harris. Let me tell you, making things happen, the most energetic person I almost know, that can do just about anything when asked, and sets her mind to it. So appreciate you, Dr. Harris, and I'm looking forward to talking to the next person about their story. Take care.